she's a personal trainer, but she also talks about like organization and like coach stuff. And it's a family show. Yeah, I'm actually enjoying it. I wasn't sure because sometimes they're too heavy. Culture. But so far, I listened to 2 and I'm like, okay, this might be a good one. Look into that one. Especially in the morning, it's good to like get a little boost of motivation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts. So cool. This is like in my work. That's a good way to make use of a nice walk. Yes.
All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started here. So happy Wednesday. Yay. And thank you all for coming. I know the case is going on as well, so there's a lot of competing priorities this morning. So thank you for being here. So we'll just dive in. This is our agenda for today, so we'll go ahead and do some just quick introductions, a hey, hi, and then we'll do news updates, and then staff is a part of that. So actually, did I do that right? Maybe I missed you, but staff is here from UW Credit Union, and so we're going to give her some time to talk about opportunities that we have with them to do lunch and learns, and I'll let her do her spiel and not steal her thunder. All right, so if everyone could just go around and say their name, department, and then we'll just do like a quick little high-low from the past week. That'd be great. Does anyone want to start? I will. Okay, go ahead.
I'm Teresa Fuller-Grosbeck. I'm from theater and drama. I think my high was I got to listen to one of our search candidates for a faculty position. He's been a short-term staff, and that was very exciting, very dynamic and exciting and inspirational. So, low, I'm not really sure. I try not to focus on those things.
My name is Victoria. I'm from the Wisconsin Alzheimer's Institute, and my high this week was my son is actually going to be on spring break next week and will be home, and I have lots of I need help with all of this stuff, and he is going to help me with it finally. And my low is this morning I woke up kind of congested and not feeling so hot, so yeah. I think it's allergies.
It's spring.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
So especially if you're affected by mold, because there's a lot of that out there.
Yeah.
I'm Tina Petrick with Population Health Sciences. My high is I actually started walking this week.
Awesome.
So I've been a very sedentary person, so I'm like super excited to finally be on the journey. So, I don't really have a low.
Yeah.
I'm Victoria Subject from College of Ag and Life Sciences, also known as CALS, but when I say that, people don't know. My high is my middle child finally finished his master's thesis as UCSD, and so I think today is the official sign-off. So it's been a very long, arduous journey. And I don't really know a low. So
I'm Susan Lackner-Atkinson from International Academic Programs, which is a study abroad office on campus. And my high is that my bonus daughter turned 7 and we had her first friend party and they had a blast, and painting picture frames actually worked well with a bunch of 7-year-olds. I was a little worried that we were going to have people leaving with lots of paint everywhere. And my low is that my ankle is starting to hurt a little bit, so I was hoping to start working out again this week and like get back into my routine, and it's causing some issues, so I have to go get that checked out.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Steph Harrell, and Susan, I think we have an email.
Yeah.
So it's nice to meet you in person. And like Nicole said, I am a Community Partnerships Coordinator with UW Credit Union, and I've been with the Credit Union for about a year, but before that I was actually working at the Mortgage Center for Public Service on campus. So one of my highs this week was actually yesterday and today, being here, and yesterday Financial Aid had an open house. And I went to it, and there were a lot of colleagues that I hadn't seen in a while, and so just being on campus and connecting with people makes me really happy. And I don't really have a low this week. I'm feeling pretty good.
Hi, Karen Soley from the UW Police Department. The high was we got word that we were accepted to host one of the biometric screenings for the Wichita, Wisconsin, which was filled within 2 days.
Wow.
So I've asked for more appointments for that. The low is unfortunately, one of my employees, last night, his dog, who was everything to him, suddenly died. So I've been dealing with that this morning and last night.
Nicole Younger, the Office of Human Resources. My high for the week. My family was in town this past weekend, so it was really fun to have them come visit. I haven't seen my sister in a while, so I always love having family come over to the house and to see them and host. So that was great. And then, I started training for a marathon, and I'm already having some issues with my leg, so that's kind of a bummer, but we'll see. I think it'll be okay. Wonderful. Well, thank you all so much, and we're happy that you are here. I also just have a quick little meditation that I'd like us to open up with this morning. So you just want to get comfy, and I'm going to turn this off because there's no visual, but the fan is really loud, so it's kind of difficult to hear. So I'm going to play this. It'll let me.
Allow yourself to
Is the volume okay?
call up some aspect of your being that feels fragmented, silent, pushed away. That part that feels most unwelcome. You don't have to pick the most difficult part. You might start with something a little bit easier, just the part that you know is difficult to love. It might be quality. Oh, I'm so impatient. Or it might be a memory, something you did that caused pain to yourself or another person, or another being. Or it could just be the physical pain in the body. It's like you feel the pain of the knee and you can feel yourself resisting it, pushing it away. So find some aspect of your being that feels like it's not welcome. It's not fully embraced. And then allow yourself to become aware of this part of your being. Bring it into the consciousness of your own awareness. Connect with it. And as you connect with this part of your being, start by acknowledging this is painful. You might even feel the sting or the ouch. See if you can locate it in the body. Where is that felt? So stay with the discomfort for a bit. It brings it more into the awareness. You don't want to move too quickly past the ouch. So now we'll bring in some support. This is the power of compassion. If you'd like to bring a hand to your own heart center, make contact with your own heart. And as you feel the connection of your own hand with your heart center, allow yourself to consciously connect with this pain. So you might say something like, this pain is part of being human. everyone experiences pain, not just me. And allow the felt sense of your hand on your own heart center to allow you to connect with the difficulty, discomfort, or the pain. This is what it means to be human. But notice the support of your own hand. There is support. There's a gesture of embracing, of contact, engagement. So from this place of engagement, you might try offering a phrase as you connect with this painful part, this difficult part of your own being or your own experience. Try offering a phrase. May I hold this with kindness. May I meet this with the strength of an open heart. May this too be known. With patience, gentleness. And as you try dropping in whatever phrase works, whatever phrase connects for you, notice how that changes the relationship. Notice how there can be a capacity to hold, to embrace the difficult, to make it welcome, not to cure it or to fix it, but simply to know it more deeply in its fullness. What does this have to teach in this moment? So this is the fearlessness of compassion. Standing in difficult, but not in a numb way, feeling its fullness. You might breathe into the space. You can bring in the breath as a support. You can keep your hand at the heart center if you like, or you can bring it back down. And then you can open your awareness to this community. So extend your knowing either to the felt sense of everybody sitting around, practicing together, or just the image. It's like the mental image of all of us sitting in a circle together. And sense into the capacity of the group, the capacity of the community to hold and to meet. There's courage and a strength of heart that collectively we can all feel into. And so allow yourself to be nourished by this. There is a collective holding that whatever pain we may experience, whatever part of us that may feel most unwelcome, most difficult, is part of larger humanity. We all have some pain, something that's difficult to accept. welcome. Allow yourself to rest and be nourished by the community that's able to hold, to offer support, to stand in the middle of. In these last few moments, you might connect with the deepest aspiration, a wish that all beings know the strike of their own heart. It's fearless compassion. The ability to embrace that which feels most unwelcome, most difficult, most unlovable. Take a few moments to just let any reflection go and stay with your own body, your own breath, just feeling fullness of your own body. Feeling the aliveness of your own breath and your own beating heart. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes to close.
So this meditation teacher is who you're around. I've been working pretty closely with him over the last few months, and he has all of his meditations available on YouTube if you're interested in doing this in your department or bringing it back just to your desk to try. And this was a self-compassion guided meditation. And so this is available in the box account as well if you'd like to go back and check out some more of his guided meditations. So, all right. I'll turn this back.
The fan is really loud. Now that it's been off, that fan is really loud.
It's really loud, yeah. I feel like it's gonna like take off, fly away. What was that meditation like for folks?
Well, that's good. Something that I don't take time to do.
And that was 13 minutes, by the way. So, if you're curious how long, some people, when you start meditating, 5 minutes seems like forever. I remember I would start checking my phone, like, okay, is it over yet? And it's only been like 3 or 4 minutes. But you just build up the stamina, if you will. Okay, I am not going to go through this overview because I think everyone has everyone been here before the COP? Okay. So yeah, I'm not going to go through all of this then. So Steph, I will hand it over to you. Do you need the laptop at all? Or
No.
Okay.
So yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I actually thought of Milo for today. Renee Sigel was supposed to join me. She is our lead financial mentor on campus and our branch manager at Monroe Street in Union South. And she had a close friend pass away, and the funeral is this morning. So that's why she unfortunately isn't joining me, but I am happy to be here with you. And hopefully you all will be able to connect with Renee in the future. So the reason I'm here is to kind of share some of the activities that UW Credit Union does to support financial wellness. As it's in the name, that is very much embedded in our social mission practice too. And a big part of that is knowing how much financial knowledge we have within the credit union and how important it is to create access to that for other people. And so there are a few ways, we partner in a lot of ways actually to provide in-person financial education for people across not just UW Madison, but the Madison community, Milwaukee, and the other UW campuses we're on. And I just kind of wanted to, number one, learn a little bit while being here about some of the wellness initiatives that you all have done in your offices, but also just share a little bit about some of the financial, at some of your office unit financial wellness initiatives.
A couple years ago, we did one of the financial wellness programs, Ramsey, I think it was.
Okay.
And recently, we had a person in doing a lunchtime speech on retirement savings.
Oh, great. Cool. And Teresa, did you say that you also?
All I did was I got up and gave a little speech about the financial wellness program and gave told them that people would get 30 days of personal time with financial experts, which I thought would kind of push people a little bit. And I put I haven't really made it part of my job. I just made sure I got the word out. I've sent some information and stuff. So.
Cool. Well, that's a start too. And we found that the biggest barriers for people in accessing financial education is that it's somewhere else. So people, when there's a seminar at our headquarters at 7:30 or 7 o'clock on a Wednesday night, even if people have the best intentions to come, getting there, arranging childcare, all of that becomes a really big barrier. So the majority of the financial education that we do is in spaces where groups are already meeting. And another barrier that we've noticed is that people are afraid when they meet with a financial that they're just going to be pitched on products and services. And so we're very mindful, again, in accordance with the Wisconsin idea, to really have our financial literacy be about the information, and we don't talk about ourselves unless we're invited to. And then the last one, too, it being really general. I remember actually before, when I was working for Madison and not a credit union member, I went to a session because the person I was supervising coordinated it, and I wanted to be supportive, but I had a pretty negative attitude about it. I was pleased to find out that a lot of, and Renee is very skilled at this, it's really catered to the questions that people have. And so I brought some handouts of some of the seminars that we do. So last year we were in front of almost 11,000 people in person. I'm just going to slide these across. Doing financial literacy seminars on everything from credit and budgeting to investments to retirement. And all of these are free, and we work directly with you in order to have experts like Renee or people from other departments come and do seminars. We actually did a lunch and learn last week here with Nicole's office on investments. Were you able to attend that
I was
one?
in Atlanta then, so I was not
But I heard it went really well, and they
too.
enjoyed it. And then another thing that we recently started, in the wake of the Equifax breach, we found that our members, and not just our members, were popping into our branches and super stressed, like, I should do something about this, but I don't know what to do about this. And so we started a program called Express Credit Checkup, so I've got a handout about that too. And we actually, I don't know, have any of you, so the last week of February and the beginning of March was America Saves Week. Thank you very much, Victor. And so we partnered with UW System HR to have Express Credit checkups in 3 different locations in Madison offered to UW System and UW Madison staff. But essentially what it is a 30-minute one-on-one appointment with an expert, and they pull your credit report and walk through it with you. Number one, peace of mind, because that's step one with the Equifax breach, is really looking at your credit report and making sure that everything is on there is accurate. And then kind of going through and helping you learn how to read it, looking for opportunities to improve your credit, or saying you're doing a really great job, keep doing what you're doing. We found a lot of people like to visit for that reason too. And again, bringing it, so we typically have done it around an event like America Saves Week. Pick a day and we bring the experts and the technology, and our partners have really worked on pushing it out to their employees and setting up the appointments and things like that. And it's been a really positive experience for people on campus. We actually, last week, did a bunch with Memorial Union too, because that's our closest partner on who our contract is with, actually, on campus. I'm just kind of curious, if you all have any questions or ideas that pop up that you're wondering if it's something we might be able to partner on, or just related to financial literacy, financial wellness needs within your units too.
How long are the seminars?
They can be tailored. We typically say 45 minutes, and a lot of that's meant to be discussion based. but there are presentations that are the background in case people are really would rather kind of just absorb information too.
In our wellness committee, we were talking about doing more things with financial, because we've included a few things in our newsletter, but not as many lunch and learns. So we're talking plans for next year, and we're talking about things like this. So this is really helpful for me to take back to them.
Yeah, and it can be a lunch and learn in the mornings, in the evening, throughout the day, what really makes sense. And I was just excited to meet with Nicole and learn that there are people across campus who are doing this, because the Mortgage Center actually will be joining this group. And we had wellness days, but financial wellness wasn't a part of it at the time. And we were just talking about too that a lot of wellness initiatives are starting to really raise up that piece, because we know finances are a huge stressor for people, and that's really our mission, is to promote the financial well-being of the people within our community. Any other thoughts or questions? And Renee was going to be here. So like I said, I've been working with the credit union for a year, and my expertise and practice is really partnership based, and we have a group of people who are trained. They're mostly from our branch, so they're financial experts, to kind of be engaging and great presenters with that knowledge, because they are the experts too. So hopefully you all can meet Renee through that too.
So, go ahead.
So the Express Credit Checkup, can you bring that to campus too?
Yep.
And then, so do you have a number of people so that you can do more than one person every 30 minutes?
Yeah, we can. I mean, it really depends if we've got lead time too. We're very committed to this, because we know how important it is and how valuable it's been to people, so mobilizing staff for that. We've typically done 2 appointments per 30 minutes, because space is actually usually the barrier, because we ask our campus partner to reserve kind of a private place, because people don't want other people hearing about their credit. But yeah, we certainly can do more. And so we've usually done them even from 9 to 4, 9 to 5, but we could even do more over a lunch hour with more financial mentors or something like that. And again, we bring the people, the technology. And I did bring one more handout and my card, but we don't like to kill that many trees at the credit union. But this one I thought would be just a nice for your financial well-being takeaway. Thank you so much. Just kind of what goes into your credit score, because I think, and something that I'm very encouraged about this group is we often focus a lot on students on campus and investing in their well-being and development, but we don't take care of ourselves and the employees that are investing in the people of campus. And so I just wanted to bring a little takeaway too with credit information for you all, and kind of what makes up a credit score, and different things that you can do to make sure that you're maintaining, improving your credit.
Steph, a couple of questions. So do you guys do any working sessions? Like if you guys were to come in and do a session on budgeting, would you have materials or plans for people to kind of walk away with something at the end of that session?
Yeah, we do, especially with budgeting, have a Build Your Budget workshop. And this handout too, this was even here before I came. And we've had increasing customized sessions. So if there's something that you notice that your staff or the groups that you work with are raising that is something that they would benefit from related to financial learning, we're happy to customize sessions too, and specifically create. We really want people to walk away feeling like they have an information resource, or kind of tools to take action with their finances.
And then my second question, is there a cost associated with any of the
grants? No cost.
And are you able to provide these sessions in the evening to accommodate second and third shift?
Yes, yes, we are able to flex times and provide them. And actually, with working with the union, there are a lot of employees that have varying hours. This summer, I'm super excited. We're adding a financial education specialist to our staff, and so we'll hopefully be able to accommodate some later or very earlier type hours too. So that's certainly something that we want to try to accommodate. Thank you for your questions. Any other questions or thoughts or ideas that come to mind, something you don't see or we didn't talk about that you've been thinking maybe would be useful for your staff or your groups or teams?
I have a question. With some of these, so my son is at Whitewater.
Yeah.
And so are some of these seminars offered at like your other UW locations? Because I know, they don't learn a lot about financial stuff when they're in school. And I'm trying to explain it to them, but I'm his mom. And so I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. is this stuff at other locations where I
Yeah.
could suggest for him to go?
Whitewater is actually the campus where we do the most financial literacy.
Okay.
We were in front of almost 11,000 people last year. But the piece at Whitewater is each student takes a first-year seminar,
Mm-hmm.
and we do sessions in each of those. But then it depends on what kind of spaces they're in. But certainly I would encourage your student to stop in the branch, even if students are not members or staff are not members. The reason we exist on campus is to be a resource to UW students, faculty, and staff. So if you have, even if you end up not setting up an express credit checkup with your team or in your office, you can always stop in a branch. Again, even if you're not a member, completely free, and just say that I was wondering if someone could go through my credit report with me, and we call them credit consultations in the branch. But similarly, or if students have questions about loans or things like that, and our staff are really happy to talk to them about their governmental loans and kind of looking at their loan packages and stuff like that as well. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, if he's part of student org, we can come present to them. We're working with some scholarship groups there, but yeah, we do a lot of financial literacy at Whitewater, but there are still students that we miss, so we're eager to be wherever students need us, and faculty and staff. Any other questions? This is why this is my low, because Renee is just such a great sprinkler of financial literacy, and so when she, of course, I'm really feel sorry and sad for her, and was bummed that she wouldn't be able to meet you all. You won't be able to meet her because she's a really wonderful teacher and educator. Yeah.
Do you do any tax consulting?
That is a very good question. I do support a Vita site, a free tax site for the credit union. However, it's at Madison College and with UW Health. We've done, we're experimenting with, there's a software called myfreetaxes.com. It sounds like a scam, but it's legit. And it's actually H&R Block software supported by the United Way. And if household income is under $64,000, then you can file with that software for free. As long as your taxes are not like super complicated. And so we've done some experiments with kind of having that software up on computers and like supporting people as they're filling them out. Because even though I support our Vita site, I'm actually a social worker, not an accountant. And so that's kind of our limitation right now. But open to, if there is a need, potentially doing some financial literacy around that too. I feel like we should be doing tax things because there's such a need, and that's kind of the scope of what we do right now.
Well, sometimes you're like trying to decide if you want to do a little business on the side, how that's going to affect your taxes, that kind of thing. So it's just nice to have something to ask.
I would, Wagner CPAs too. I don't know if any of you have heard of Wagner CPAs. They are an accounting group, but they do a lot for nonprofits, and they have a lot of financial literacy that they do related to taxes and have a newsletter. And since running a Vita site, I tune into that because it's helpful to know those sort of things. And they talk about some of those more sophisticated topics, where ours is more just basic personal taxes, my knowledge. And full disclosure, I've still never filed my own taxes, but I filed about a couple hundred other people, so yeah. Any other questions or ways you think we can partner or be helpful? We've got to talk to Susan. After
We're
spring.
gonna connect
Yes.
after spring.
If you're going to one of the branch sites to just have this express checkup or consultation, do you need to schedule an appointment in advance?
It's probably a good practice to schedule an appointment, but if you drop in and someone's available, they'd be happy to do it with you right then and there. But if you're in a time crunch, I would call ahead or send an email. And you can email me too. Last thing, this last piece of paper I brought is my card. You can email me and I can connect you directly with one of our financial mentors, though all of our branch staff are. So I should get up and walk too. Tina, you've inspired me to be more of a walker too. Any other thoughts or questions or ideas? And like I said, this is kind of what we do now, but even this Express Credit Checkup is a fairly new thing that we've been doing externally because it's what we've heard is a need. And so I'm really happy to meet with any of you one-on-one or with a group and kind of discuss what you think would be great for the people that you're working with and how we can partner on that. Because really UW is our original and main partner, and we really exist to serve the financial wellness needs of our campuses. So, any other questions?
Perfect. Well, thanks, Beth.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I I'm going to scoot and let you have the rest of your meeting together, but if you do have any questions that come up or anyways, again, please feel free to reach out, even if it's to set up a credit consultation or whatever with someone in our branches too.
Thank you. Big Wednesday in spring.
Alright, rocking and rolling. Okay, just a couple other updates. The Well Wisconsin 2018 program, we are well underway with that now. Have folks scheduled a screening in the department yet? Or is there one? You guys have one now?
Yeah.
Okay.
If today's the last day they can sign up.
Okay, great. Any road blocks or challenges or issues that have come up with scheduling or going to a screening?
The only thing for us is it comes up really quickly, like yours too. So
Okay.
we're advertising it, and everyone's like, "We can't find it anymore. It's gone."
Okay.
So we requested more times, but we may be scheduling a second one because of that.
Okay.
Which is what I might have to do if they can't add more times.
Yeah.
And ours filled in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And I have lots of employees that are, but I just went on and looked and it's gone already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we did last year, because we had that the first time around and they wouldn't cancel the appointments, everybody but Pop Health employees participated. So we scheduled another one, but then we closed it so that nobody else could sign up for it. And then we did that internally, which seemed to work out fairly well. The employees were there at work, so they could just come and go, and they kind of did like an assembly line. So it was pretty. It was much better the second time around. The first time around was a little stressful, but
So you guys didn't even put it on the
first
portal?
one we did, but
The
the
second
second
one?
one we did not.
And you just did a paper sign up
Yes.
then? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's another way to do it too. So if you do decide to just not put it on the portal, you can essentially do walk-ins, is my understanding. Just have people file through, but you have to be really cautious about the number of appointment slots that you book because there'll be issues if we have too many slots open and they bring on another screener. So just be aware of how many people you would have come to that screening. So, any other challenges or things that went well if you've already hosted a screening?
Ours just, we've not completely filled, but it seems like a lot of people either didn't read and know about it, or they did and it's just in the back of their mind. And I didn't know that today was going to be the last day until that just came out on Monday. And so actually in my department, I went door to door, and I think 5 people from my department signed up yesterday because I went door to door.
Yeah.
So and it's one of those things, how do you get the information to people so they'll actually see it, and that's, as we've discussed, that's part of our biggest problem.
Yeah.
So.
The other thing too is the on-site screenings are not the only way to complete the biometric screening. You can do the health provider health form, just take that in, and I think there's actually a way that you can do it online as well. You just fill out your own information. So there are a couple different options for folks to so communicating that if people get frustrated that they couldn't get their screening in, or they can always look at other departments too. Maybe the building next to you is hosting one the following week that they could just pop in it. So, has anyone done any of the engagement activities yet within the portal?
I actually ran into a barrier.
Okay, what was that?
When I was trying to sign up for the Million-Step Challenge, I could click on Let's Go, and it would never take me to the page where you could actually connect your devices. I think it's an Internet Explorer problem because I was about to email you, and I was halfway through the email, and I go, maybe I should try a different browser. And so I went to Firefox, and then I was able to sign up.
Okay. It probably is Internet Explorer capability that usually tends to be the case with that, but
We did the insurance one with the short.
the little quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Has anyone done any of the daily dashes or just signed up for those to receive those notifications?
I have.
You have?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're, I love the less stress one.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, it takes 2 minutes, out of your day, but, I wish that we could do some of the other ones. I mean, I understand that you're just getting credit for that day, but it would be great to do the sleeping one to find out how I could get better sleep. You have to pick one of the 4, and that's all that you have access to. So, but I like the email. I can click right through it, just do it, and move on with my day through. So,
yeah. And I think the daily dashes too are great if you have a little newsletter, or you're doing bathroom flyers or elevator flyers or anything like that, or just emails. You can just copy and paste that little blurb into whatever you're sending out because it is super easy to read. They're quick, and I think they're great little tips. So yeah.
So you're saying though that you have a choice of 4 and you can only pick one of those and then you can't see the others?
yeah.
Oh.
So you can read through all of the different choices, but then the way that daily dashes work is you're basically saying, I did this. So once you click one of the 4 things, it takes away the other for doing the other option, so you wouldn't get credit more than once for doing something. However, you can still read all the information.
So you
Don't
want to
know
copy it.
that.
So you want to copy it before you do your clicking.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was frustrated with that too. I would be reading it on my phone on the bus and oh, I want to see all the other things too. And but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Another quick little plug that I'll make for the Stay Well program is that if you would like to do a walking challenge with your department this summer, the Million Steps Challenge is a great tracking tool, not just for completing your incentive, but if you have people that are part of the Stay Well program, you can do little competitions between people or other departments. So if CALS and Pop Health wanted to go head to head and see which department can get the most steps, you can create teams within the Million Steps Challenge. And we have all the pre-made promotional materials for that, so all you would really have to do is get people to sign up and then run it. And people just have to have a tracking device, or you can just plug your steps in at the end of the day. So there's a manual option and a synced option as well. I did just post a new challenge for those that enjoy these or want to send this information on to others. So March was, we're still in March, National Nutrition Month. And so we did a little fruit and vegetable challenge in light of that, and we'll go into more details about that in a little bit. But know that all of the materials and how to implement that are all available in the box now. Has anyone done the ETF Financial Fitness Program? So this is what you were talking about.
I did look at
Yeah.
it, and I had a question. You get 30 days to meet with an expert, but I was just looking at it real quick so I could tell my departments. Does that mean my 30 days started then?
No. So how it works is you complete, let's see, I can just pull this up. So you have to do different financial literacy components and complete 3 or 4. And so once you complete those 3 or 4, then you're eligible for 30 days of financial coaching. So it's not that you open this up and you only have 30 days to use it. Once you engage in the program and complete the steps that after you take the little quiz, it says this is what you need to do, we recommend for you, then you can engage with a coach for 30 days. Yeah. Good question.
I do have a low. My glasses woke up and they're crooked. So if you notice the crooked, I keep trying to kind of adjust it on my hair.
Oh, that's the worst. That is the worst. Alright, so I'm just gonna go into a couple other quick things here about the Well Wisconsin program. So just so you guys know, in 2017 our eligible population was 18,000, just over. And we had a 33% completion rate, which was 13% in 2016. So we more than doubled, which is fantastic. And we only had 63 screenings held in 2017. So looking at 2018, my numbers that I just looked at a couple days ago said that we had 35 screenings scheduled, 36 now. So the trajectory of getting people in to get the screening completed is higher than what it was last year at this point in the year, so that's fantastic. So we really just, there's an opportunity to get people in to complete it. The more people that can get that $150, the better. I mean, it's free money and it's a good incentive. I created a roles and responsibilities guide for screening coordinators. So this is separate from what you would get from Staywell. And this is just some things to consider. So if you need CLS services, how early you need to reach out to them, when the screening dates are, timetables for things. So thinking about how early do I have to book in advance. I know the screening coordinator guide gives that. Contact information, so here's Katie's information, her email and phone number, and then just a little timeline of things. So when you're looking 4 weeks out, 2 weeks out, day of event, and then just the roles and responsibilities that you can expect as a coordinator compared to the staff that will be on site. So if you this is available for your use if it's helpful at all. I know that sometimes screenings can be the biggest pain in the butt, so I want to make them as accessible as possible.
And if you have coffee available, they will love you.
Oh yes, for the screeners.
Yes.
Yes, they love if you show up with some Green Bush donuts and a little coffee or whatever.
Excited about coffee, yeah.
Yep, because they are there. If you do a screening in the morning, they are there early, very very early.
Don't they take a blood sample?
Say that again.
Do they take a blood sample?
They do. Yeah.
And can you have coffee?
Oh, for
For the workers
doing it.
Pardon?
For the people working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. No, you're right. If you're getting the screening done, then you're supposed to.
I thought you meant the coffee and donuts is for the people.
Oh, I mean, that would be a great thing. I'm sure people would find that either. If you wanted to do that for all 200 people. Just a couple other quick notes about the portal. There is that 21-day meditation challenge. So if you like doing, just a 5 to 15-minute meditation, Staywell has that available as well. And you can do it even if you've already completed your engagement activity. There's coaching as well, over the phone or self-directed coaching. Yeah.
That's something that came up.
Okay.
One of my coworkers said that she'd signed up for the coaching, but they didn't schedule a time to call her, so she just kept getting all these numbers that she didn't recognize because they weren't from here, so she wouldn't answer. So she kept missing the coaching sessions. So that would be feedback of have them schedule that first time so that they know to answer a number that they don't recognize.
I actually ran into that too, where I don't answer my phone if I don't recognize the number, and it doesn't show up on caller ID, it doesn't have a name. It has the number twice, and it is these random weird numbers every time. So and I'm getting these voting election calls right now at this time, and so it's kind of
They don't leave a message?
Yeah, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Because I did it last year, and I can't remember how I connected the first time, because I do the same thing, I don't answer.
Yeah.
But after I did that, then they schedule each time after that, so.
So anyway, that's just something I heard at the last meeting. That's when I saw the coaching, I was like, oh yeah.
Calling from their own homes?
The coaches,
Yeah.
so they are contracted through Staywell, so it's an 800 number that calls you, and they're associated with the Staywell company.
Okay, it seems like I called back once and I got a different person in the family or something, and they weren't sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe I got the wrong number. Maybe
Okay.
but that's what I was thinking. Oh, maybe they're doing it from home.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think, I mean, they might work from home, but the number that they should be calling through is the corporate number.
Alright.
But that's good feedback, so thank you. And then on May 16th, there'll be a webinar available, and I can't remember the topic off the top of my head, but it'll just be a 30-minute webinar, so they're no longer these hour-long monthly webinars. They're just 30 minutes that you can tune into if you would like. Alright, so I wanted to give you guys a quick preview of this fruit and vegetable challenge, so that you have the information, and if you would like to take it back, you can. So oftentimes we hear that fruits and vegetables are so important, we need to eat more of them, but why is that? So we'll go into a little bit of detail, and then how to include more vegetables and fruits into just your daily diet versus saying, oh my gosh, I have to eat these raw fruits and vegetables. It's just a little easier if you just integrate it into everything. We'll talk about that. So some benefits of eating more fruits and veggies: you reduce your risk of cancer, and just overall better mood. I think when we eat more whole fruits and vegetables, our bodies feel better. Does anyone know who Michael Pollan is? You heard of him? Okay. So eat food, not too much, mostly vegetables.
No, mostly plants.
Mostly plants. Okay. So I'm super excited. I'm going to see him talk next week. I can't wait. But that's kind of his philosophy. Eat food, real food, not too much, and mostly plants. So when we incorporate that into our lifestyle, I mean, our bodies are just going to feel so much better. So how do fruits and vegetables actually trigger these benefits? There are things called antioxidants, which strengthen your immune system, and like I said, all those added benefits of reducing your risk of cancer, heart disease, depression, and complex carbohydrates. So these help keep your hormone levels steady. So complex carbohydrates, the way that they work is they're, we won't get too scientific here, but they're just longer strands. So they take longer to break down, so your blood sugar levels don't spike. So with, let's just say white sugar, for example, that's going to be processed much quicker than brown rice. So your blood sugar levels are going to stay a little more regulated when you have those complex carbohydrates. So that then regulates your hormones, which takes into account multiple different factors within your body, but then translates to your energy levels throughout the day, all that good stuff. Folate and B vitamins are also super, super important for keeping that, they say keep your emotions in check, but also just maintaining kind of a more balanced, regulated energy level throughout the day. Okay, so it's saying that really, the answer really is yes, and I think the education around eating more fruits and vegetables, it's everywhere. Everyone knows how to do it, but it can be hard to make that lifestyle change if you don't eat a ton of fruits and veggies in the first place. So they really don't have to be just a snack. So just having an apple when you're hungry or reaching for a salad at lunch. There's creative and fun ways to include fruits and vegetables into things that you're already eating. So there's some ideas up here: adding spinach and peppers into pasta sauce, adding fruits to salads. I love throwing blueberries in the summer on my salads. That's one of my favorite things. Replace sugar with apples and bananas or berries when you're baking. I love to mash up bananas and put them in pancakes on the weekend, or I'll blend up spinach in my pancakes too. They turn green, so it worked out really well for St. Patrick's Day. You can combine peas with onion, garlic, and broth for a really good soup. Does anyone have any ways that they like to sneak in vegetables or fruits into their diet? Yeah.
Well, I had some terribly cheap soup one day, but
Yeah.
I also had a bag of spinach. So I just did the spinach leaves in the soup, and it made it was much tastier too.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I put spinach in my smoothies, so, and you can't really taste.
Cauliflower and carrots, and so cauliflower you can put it with mac and cheese and it doesn't get noticed. And we do carrots and we put that in pasta sauce a lot too and some other things.
Absolutely.
The cauliflower pizza crust can be really good as well.
Yeah. Trader Joe's makes cauliflower pizza crust, so you can just get it all ready to go. Costco has them too.
I said, I was just gonna say, I just saw it at Costco,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh.
Yep. Yeah. Does anyone do a CSA?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, so I've heard that you get a ton of veggies and lettuce with this.
We are now on every other week.
Okay. So if you're doing something like that, I mean, that is going to force you to be, we say in my family, very veggie forward, because you are going to just have to consume more vegetables if you're doing something like that. So.
And the nice thing is most of them give you recipes because a lot of us, there's vegetables that you've never used, especially the first year or two that you websites, and even without being part of the CSA, get the recipes so you can expand what you're eating.
Yeah. And if you're interested in doing this challenge or just sending this information out to your department, you could tag on a CSA drop-off site at your department as well. They're very open to just coming and dropping your box off at your workplace. UHS does it. We've done it in the past. I know there are a couple other drop-off locations within departments. You just have to pick a farm and get people to sign up, and I think you have to have at least 7 or 8 people sign up to be a part of that drop-off location, and they'll bring the box right to work.
One of the biggest problems that I have with people who don't want to eat fruits and veggies is they get so sick, like they get the runs and stuff or gas. And I know for myself, I had abbreviation. I couldn't eat fruits or vegetables for very many for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And I can tell you my vision went down and you never feel full, you know, when you don't. So there's a lot of side effects, but that's the biggest thing I find out when I'm talking to people about fruits and vegetables is that they get sick on it. So
Interesting. So you're saying when you ate more fruits and vegetables, your vision declined?
After 7 years of
not
being able to eat, because I get real sick.
Yep.
Yeah, my vision started going down. And they said if I started eating again, then eventually I was able to start eating again.
Sure.
And now I'm back on regular vegetables. But it took me a really long time to even identify what was going on. But I can tell the difference. I mean, try not eating any practically for 7 years, and then you really know the difference. But the biggest thing I find when I talk to people about eating fruits and vegetables is that they have a problem, not as bad as mine, but they do find themselves just feeling gassy and kind of sick. So
it's a vegetarian-wide problem.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah. So a lot of people have issues with broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, like the heavier leafy greens that are tough to break down. That's going to be harder on your digestive system than some other things. So incorporating like potatoes or sweet potatoes or doing brown rice, like a stir fry, a veggie stir fry, something like that can sometimes be a little easier. Also cooking the vegetables can really help break that down so it's not so hard on your stomach.
also, I did find for the spinach, the stems.
Yes.
I take off the stems.
Those can be tough.
Yeah.
So baby spinach, do you get the regular spinach or the baby spinach?
Oh, I don't know, whatever.
Next time check it out, because sometimes the bigger spinach leaves that you get have those tough stems and they're annoying to eat and it's not very pleasant. So if you switch to baby spinach, the leaves are smaller and those stems actually are soft, so they're not as tough to digest because I completely know what you're talking about. I know this is not fun. Any other fun recipes for fruit or vegetables that people like to?
Instead of chicken fried rice, chicken fried cauliflower.
Is that good?
I can't stand rice, but when I started using cauliflower to make it, or you can also at the grocery store get a cauliflower sweet potato blend.
Ooh.
And I like either just using the cauliflower or the cauliflower sweet potato blend and using that instead of rice.
Mhm.
I think it's actually pretty good.
Awesome.
So does it really taste like rice?
No,
Okay.
because I hate rice,
Oh,
but I will eat the other. But I mean, it is very similar though.
It's the texture that's similar.
Mm-hmm.
And rice and the cauliflower both absorb whatever you're putting with it. So that's really what you're tasting. So.
Okay, so the goal is to eat at least 5 half-cup servings of fruit and vegetables in a variety of colors. So has anyone heard of Eat the Rainbow? Okay. So that's basically to ensure that you're getting all the essential vitamins and minerals to help your body operate and function at its highest capacity. Oftentimes, some people will take multivitamins to supplement a vitamin or mineral. If you can eat the rainbow and really consume all of your fruits and veggies, sometimes you don't even need that multivitamin. So just things to consider. And 5 half-cup servings, it's a lot easier than you think. The serving sizes of like an apple, for example, that's almost 2 servings. So, it's not like you have to, go to the salad bar and eat the whole thing, or, go to the produce section and grab all the stuff. It's a little easier than we might think. Just a quick note on food safety with fruits and vegetables, just to be sure that you're washing them so you don't get sick, especially when summertime rolls around and we're going to food safety. Trying to think if there's anything else in here that's a note. You don't have to necessarily get the fruit spray. I know that sometimes we used to use that in our home. You can just use water and rinse things off, and it usually does the job pretty well. Alright, so unfortunately I don't have any snacks. I should have thought about that when I did this. I should have brought some little fruit kebabs or something, but hopefully your next trip to the grocery store will be fun and inspired and incorporate some more fruits and veggies. Okay, would like us to move into just a little roundtable discussion, and I'd like to start by going around, and if folks just want to give a quick little update as to what they've been up to and what they're doing, we'll start there.
Sure. So, I am running our strategic goal for employee health, growth, and development. And our first goal that we're working on is to have wellness activities available during what we call our peak time, which is the fall, when we're just running crazy. Just a lot of stuff happening on campus that draws a lot of our resources. So we've been working through that, and that's where we're looking to start actually a pilot of allowing certain wellness activities on paid time for everybody in the department. The one that most people are jumping to is workouts, and that one is creating lots of conversation because somebody doing like a CrossFit workout and then they're injured, well, workers' comp then kicks in, and so we want to balance the risk and liabilities that the department will take on with the benefits of giving some people actual time to do stuff. We foraged into it a little bit. I'm trying to take it to the next. The hard part is trying to put the framework around it so we can make the proposal. Everybody just wants to jump to activities, including myself. So that's that challenge and then fill it.
Karen, have you looked at the flex time policy that the university has? It has a campus-wide flex time policy. Basically saying that if the manager and supervisor approves, you can flex your time or your working hours to what fits your lifestyle. So if someone wants to take an hour to go do a workout, just that they would make up that time or get their work done at a different point. So yeah, that might be a good place to start as well.
Just started our wellness committee this year, and so the first semester we kind of been planning. Now, spring semester we've had 2 lunch and learns, one on mindfulness now, and how to bring mindfulness into your day. That doesn't just meditation, because that was a big concern from a lot of people. And so Rob Sepich was nice enough to do that from UHS. He usually just works with students, but he agreed to come in and talk with us, and was really well received. And then we actually had the nutrition and dietetics club come in yesterday and talk about healthy snacking and packing for adults and kids. We use work time to go as long as it's cross teams, so there's 3 units within our division, and so our dean said as long as we have people from all of the different divisions, he sees that as team building for the Division 2. So the first one we went to Second Harvest Food Bank, and now we're working with the Arboretum for our second one that will be coming up this month. And we also created our mission statement, so we're pretty excited about that. And so now our next goal is to think through what we're going to do next year and be a little bit more intentional with everything. Because it's kind of like, we did like a survey and we're like, we're interested in these things. And so now we want to be more intentional with our planning. And so that I'm not doing all of the planning.
Lunch and Learns, our group is the one that you had over there. So that's happened, and we've set up the screenings. We're meeting tomorrow. We're still just getting smaller and smaller instead of bigger. So that's one of our biggest challenges, is trying to see how we can get more people involved in being on the committee. We have a committee budget of 0, so when you talk about bringing coffee for these people, it's going to have to be out of our pockets because there's no budget. So, which is, the other issue, and communication is still an issue for us, but we are working on that, and we'll just see how tomorrow goes as far as what our topics are. We are trying to lay out, we've kind of said, okay, this year we'll just continue as is and then start working on next year and doing some planning. But we're looking at being primarily an information access point where we pull a lot of stuff from the UW site so that people have access to that, as opposed to trying to create activities. And part of that is because we're so spread out too.
So we really haven't done too much. I did give permission to use a bulletin board, so for health and wellness. So I was pretty excited about that because it's quite the hurdle in our department to do extra things. Okay. So hopefully I can get things up and running in our department, and then also on the divisional team for the School of Medicine and Public Health. And so they're going through a reorg right now, so we have our payroll and benefits team of 10, and so hoping to at least bring this information to our next meeting next week, so that they're all aware. So great.
I am just kind of new to taking over the wellness for our department, so last month was my first meeting here. I am also working with the ADRC, which is the Alzheimer's Dementia Resource Center, and so I'm on kind of that group. We're kind of spread out all over the place. We have people in the hospital, we have people in the Veterans Hospital, we have people in Wimmer and the School of Nursing. Like, we're all kind of in this weird area. But we do have like a yoga kind of set up once a month. And that was last week, and there was 6 people that were at it, which was kind of exciting, because I guess the one before it was just the yoga instructor that showed up. So everyone is really into wellness, especially with being at the Alzheimer's Association. Like, it's, the mind diet and all that kind of stuff, but it's just finding the time and everyone being able to come together, and then me just kind of taking it over. We've also been at departmental changes, like our administrator left, one of our scientists is leaving, so everyone is kind of taking up all this extra work, where the wellness is kind of getting, put on the back burner because there are things that have to be done. There is stuff that has to be done for work, and so it's, unfortunately, this kind of gets pushed off. And but I'm trying to, figure out how to bring it back and make it more. And I think I'm actually going to be doing like Wellness Wednesday emails to my department and stuff like that, where I would send like links or just information like this, just to kind of start getting it out there, and then hopefully being able to like staff meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's great. So when people have gone through reorgs or a shift in staffing before, how have other folks dealt with that stress within their departments?
Suck it up. Sorry.
Ditto.
Change is good for other people, but Yeah.
We have 2 people already who have had to, only have 4 professors. And we're restructuring both our grad program and our undergrad program, so it's been just crazy. And we've had 2 professors who I don't think are doing well, and they've had to come off. So, not the rest, and then the other people get even more overburdened. So, my approach has just been to like have food and water at the thing, maybe a little mention. I send out an email. I don't want to give too much because I already have too many emails. Very light, but yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah. I think that when we go through those stressful times as a department or as a team, that's a great opportunity to kind of rethink what wellness means as an ambassador. Like, how are you taking care of yourself to help your coworkers go through this tough transition? And are there little moments of gratitude that you can bring in, because people probably feel overworked and overstressed, and can you know, be that individual to say, hey, thank you so much for doing this, or just, you know, making health and wellness a little more accessible, or whether it's sending an email that's funny and gonna make someone laugh, that might be like the perfect little dose of wellness that's needed in that moment.
Well, sometimes I'll also jump in for, like, we had a person leaving and I brought in some treats, you know, because nobody thought of it. There wasn't any team to it. And just try to identify those moments when we need to have a little bit of a celebration and talk. Because a lot of people felt bad they were leaving, but nobody put it together, and they're real appreciative to have the chance to say goodbye and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. That you want to get that?
Yeah, that's all I'm really doing. I do try to get the word out for mental health, making sure that people kind of, and I could post it up because you never know what's going to happen when you need to know that, and of course you're going to go, oh, I remember there's a number, but you know, so I try to make sure people have that, and just having some wonderful events, ice skating and stuff like